Hi, I'm Faraz Khan from MyTrack Recruitment, and welcome to Season 3 of the Low Code podcast. Low code is the future of software development, but what is low code without its developers? So this season, I will be speaking to all levels of developers across the globe who have taken the career choice of working with low code platforms. With this podcast, our aim is to help grow the low code developer community by inspiring others to follow the same path as our guests. There is a severe shortage of resources in this area, and we are looking to help bridge that gap by raising interest and awareness amongst developers to look at this exciting technology. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast. Today my guest is Michael de Guzman, OutSystems lead consultant and champion from the Philippines. Hi Michael, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Faraz? Good to
Yeah,
be
I'm
here.
good. Yeah, thank you for agreeing to take part. I know it's something out of your comfort zone, but I'm glad you're kind of willing to give it a go.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Yes, thank you. You're our first guest from the Philippines,
Oh, okay.
taking part. So it's good to kind of I thought you'd be a good person to speak to, mainly because of your quite interesting background and experience. I thought you'd be a good guest to get on board and kind of tell us about your journey.
Yeah. So, I'm one of those old dogs in
Yes.
software development. I've been in the software engineering industry for 25 years now.
Wow.
I graduated computer science in 1996. So,
Oh.
you may compute how old I am.
Yeah, yeah,
Back
yeah.
then, yeah. So, so back then, our programming education was very, very traditional.
Mm,
MS-DOS.
yeah,
Windows 3.1 came in to our maybe to our country or to
yeah.
our school maybe 1997.
Okay.
I was because after school I did um I became a college professor for a year
Yep. Oh, nice.
before yeah before I became a developer. So
What were
I
you
first
teaching?
started computer science
Okay, cool.
subjects as
Okay.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good, good.
programming as well. Yeah,
Yeah, good. Okay.
yeah. So I left teaching because I felt that I think I'm teaching these kids by the book or
Yeah,
by my experience in the
yeah.
school. So I told myself, why not get some programming experience
Mm.
for a couple of years, and then I go back to teaching
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
really love teaching, and so that I could share the students what's the real life of a developer,
Mm.
things like that. So, however, it did not happen. So
Okay.
after I became a developer, job after job after job after job. So I first started my career doing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this platform. It was called Clipper 5.
No, I
It's
haven't heard
like
of it.
similar, yeah, it's like similar to Fox Pro. It's still a
Okay. Yeah.
DOS environment. Yeah, and then we transitioned to Visual Basic. Um, and then when I got out of that company, I went using C Sharp .NET.
Okay.
I think that lasted for about 6 years. So I was a C Sharp developer for quite some time. And then after that, so I was more on Microsoft side.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was hired by a Japanese guy.
Mm.
And then he brought me to Indonesia to manage the research and development team.
Okay.
And then in that company, it's more on open source platforms. So it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
totally different world. So Linux, we're using Linux, C++,
Yeah.
PHP, everything open source. That's the language there, and that's a platform there. So, for that company, we were developing software for electronic machines.
Yeah.
So because that company is a manufacturing company, so the electronic devices that they produce, we are the ones developing the software for that.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically my first before I met OutSystems, most of the products that I built for the various companies are desktop applications
Yeah.
and embedded software in embedded machines. So it's more on how do you call this, standalone
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
software. I've heard of like web technologies, but
Mm.
I've never really like dealt with that technology because I was too in love
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
with the research and development
Mm.
um platform with open source. So um to cut the story short, 2017, year 2017, sorry, I was in Indonesia, and then
Yeah,
they moved me back to Philippines to manage the research and development team
yeah,
here. Unfortunately, in 2017, the management decided to close the company here, and of course, I didn't want to work in back to Indonesia
yeah, yeah, yeah.
or Singapore or something. So I decided to stay in the Philippines. But the problem was I was I spent too long in open source,
Yeah,
so
okay. Yeah,
there was not much job opening for open
yeah,
source. It
yeah,
was mostly, and C sharp was also not so much.
yeah,
It was mostly on the back end side was mostly Python. I can do
yeah, okay.
Python,
Yeah,
but the the pay is
yeah, yeah, yeah,
not
sure.
too
Your core skill was
yeah,
C sharp. Yeah,
yeah. So I was thinking of how to go back to development or uh whatever career in software development. So I was thinking maybe it's better for me to go to management side, but
mm.
um anyway, any position any position I have in a company, I still end up doing software
Yeah,
development.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's I think so. I think I'm software engineer by heart. So
Yeah,
um I was unemployed for about eight 8 months. I think
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
long time
Long
to be
time. Yeah, yeah,
unemployed.
yeah.
So yeah, so I learned a lot of platforms on the side, like Flutter. I was
Yeah,
interested in mobile development, Flutter, React JS. I learned those kinds of platforms.
yeah,
So I was starting to be introduced
yeah,
with the
sure.
current web development thing.
Yeah,
So okay, this is how web development works, but it's really difficult to find a job that you're a beginner in that platform,
yeah.
and you're expecting the pay
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
is yeah,
They
so
see you as an entry level junior, don't they?
entry level,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe one day I had an invite from DB Results, because DB Results was still opening
yeah.
up their office in the
Mm,
Philippines in 2017 and 2018. So
mm,
I got interviewed by one of the top guys of DB
mm.
Results. His name is Damian Walsh. Yeah, he and then he during the interview he I was because when the job ad is quite odd because
Yeah.
they didn't ask any platform. They were not
No
specific to
specific.
a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
platform.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were looking for delivery managers, but
Mm,
they were not specific on the platform. So it's a bit odd of kind of a job post. So
yeah.
okay, let me try this one. And then when they interviewed me, I asked Damien, so what platform are we using, Damien? So he told me it's OutSystems. I've never heard of OutSystems before.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, he told me, are you familiar with OutSystems? I'm sorry, I haven't heard of it.
Mm,
Is it still okay if I have zero knowledge of on that? Then
mm,
he told me, yeah, that's fine. We're actually looking for experience in software development, not
mm.
particular in
Yeah,
OutSystems.
yeah.
So after that interview, I googled
Yeah,
OutSystems. What's OutSystems? I
yeah.
googled OutSystems, and oh, you immediately have like a personal environment.
Yeah.
I just went through the instruction, personal environment, what's this? And
Mm.
then download the IDE,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
search video, and then um, there already like tutorials available.
Yes.
I started playing around with it.
Yeah.
Then I think it was love at first sight because
Yeah.
it's drag and drop. It's like creating a flow chart. There's still code, but I think it's just like for like conditions, like or SQL statements, things like that. There's still a little bit of code. So I said, wow, this platform is very interesting. So I accepted that. I had some offers, but I
Yeah.
accepted this particular company because I'm really interested of this platform. I want to see this platform in action.
Mm.
I think this is the next platform I want.
Mm.
Because I've been through React JS, Flutter. It's
Yeah.
I've been in the traditional programming for so long. I want something new, and then
Fresh.
I
Yeah.
fresh, and then not just fresh, but because I was looking for a particular platform for mobile that can work for both
Yeah.
iOS and Android.
Mm.
So Flutter is one, Xamarin is one, but you have to learn a lot of things
Mm.
first. But OutSystems offers this drag and drop thing, and it can already generate both for. So wow, this is magic. So
Yeah.
okay, I joined this company. So I joined CDR. I joined DB Results at that time.
Mm.
I transitioned to CDR
Yeah.
later. But I was first a delivery manager, so I took care of, like, the project management
Mm.
stuff. I'm also Scrum Master, BA.
Mm.
So our first clients in the Philippines were the big companies.
Yeah.
Um, and then um, so I was working closely with the developers, right? I had
Mm.
I had this team, and then we're working on site. There was no pandemic at that time.
Yeah.
Um, then because I don't know how to do OutSystems, I just saw it on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
tutorials. I'm looking at the developers, and wow, this is really interesting. And then what I was, I'm very research and development
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, is this a closed platform? Can this integrate? I have so many questions.
Mm.
Fortunately, our project with that big company has like 5 integrations.
Yeah.
It's like it's integrating with 5 platforms, with other platforms externally, and said, wow, drag and drop, and it can integrate,
Yeah.
and then it can generate mobile applications. So my interest really grew in a
Yeah.
span of few months. And then
Yeah.
in our sprint is 2 weeks,
Mm.
and then in the first sprint we already like doing a demo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's this is pretty fast. This platform is pretty fast. um I think I'm getting maybe early on I'm getting the business, the business strategy why
Mm.
big companies are selecting OutSystems. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think the promise of speed is really there.
Yeah.
And but that time I don't really care about the speed. I'm more focused on the platform.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I've been in research and development for a long
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
my thinking is really software
Yeah.
engineering.
Yeah.
It's revolving on. So um I uh I got impressed with OutSystems more when Damien Walsh told us that we need to have an OutSystems server local in Manila.
Mm.
So I think I shared this experience with one of the OutSystems event
Okay.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he said we need to install a server in Manila. So um I volunteered.
Okay.
Because I had much of server installation and
Yep.
administration with my previous company,
Yep.
when the Japanese company, because it
Yeah.
was
Sure.
open source. I
Yep.
I set up a lot of servers there. So I volunteered. I said, this is my chance to see OutSystems under the hood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I volunteered. Excuse me. So I volunteered. So they bought a server, entry level server. It's a Dell server, rack server.
Mm.
Specs is pretty good. It's entry level.
Yeah.
So I applied my Linux experience there, because I did some because we were starting, so we cannot really. I did some cost,
Mm.
what do you call that, cost estimate
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
analysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we buy all the licenses for what we need, like virtual machine virtualization, it will cost us a lot. So I was thinking, if is it okay for you if we do open source?
Mm.
Then Damien said, just lay out the analysis, and then we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. So I think from $22,000, I think. We ended up, our budget became like, we only needed like three licenses of Windows Server,
Oh wow.
because yeah, because I installed Linux machine on that server, then I created virtual machines,
Mm,
and then I installed all the, I created 4 virtual machines. So for it's the
mm,
lifetime
yeah.
development, test and production servers
Mm,
there. And then we just purchased the Windows server license of all virtual machines, and that's how it ended up. So to cut the story short, I installed our OutSystems platform in Manila
oh
without
wow.
any yeah, without any
Wow.
training, no training at all. I just know how to administer the server. I know how to set it up,
Yeah.
but no training for OutSystems whatsoever. So I gave it a try. The instruction is pretty clear. Just have to follow it.
Mm,
And then there was just some few hiccups, but those are things that I cannot control anymore. So
yeah.
we ended up calling OutSystems.
Yeah.
There were some problems with the IIS
Yeah.
setup or things like that. But
Mm,
the installations was pretty smooth.
yeah.
And then learning OutSystems under the hood, I got more impressed with the
Yeah.
platform, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, OutSystems really did their job. Like the research and development of this thing maybe took a long time. They really invested um, many heads coming
Yeah.
up with this platform, because I'm telling you, from a traditional kind of guy, traditional kind of developer, when you want your software to go out with quality, you have to go through the process of, the DevOps
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
yeah, things like that, code repository,
Mm,
to 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 make those possible. You have to set up a lot of servers
yeah. Yeah.
for DevOps, like automatic deployment. You have to set up a lot of servers. For code repository, you have to have another kind of server, a lot of servers. But with OutSystems, everything is there. I
Yeah.
saw it on the when I installed it. Oh, okay, I understand. It has its own code repository. Deployment is automatic. It's everything is there. It's like it's like I call it technological Swiss knife.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Everything, yeah,
Yeah.
everything you need is already there.
Mm,
You
mm.
just you just have to focus on the development,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So I did that, and then I was really impressed. And then, wow, I think I'm gonna be in this platform for a long time. I really
Yeah.
want to learn more.
Mm,
So I already know the server side. So I want to learn more on the development side.
development.
Yeah. So even if my job was developer, delivery specialist, on the side I was learning.
Doing your own. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then if my guys need help on the development, I kind of, I try to help, but
Yeah.
only on the back end side, like
Yeah.
creating server
Yeah.
actions.
Yeah.
Then because you don't need to study the language actually, because it's flowchart.
Yeah.
You're like drawing a flowchart.
Yeah.
So any person with software development background can easily learn how to
Yeah.
create code in OutSystems. So
Yeah.
I did that. What I don't understand at first is the web technology side, the front end, the web page, how
Mm,
that works. Then eventually, okay, I think I decided, okay, I want to go to development
mm.
side of this. So I took my first, I did some training by myself online. Then I took my first certification. Yeah, just I want to validate if
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
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 So first I took mobile because that's where I'm interested in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, successfully I passed. I said, I think reactive is pretty the same. So a week after I took reactive, and then I
Okay.
passed. Yeah, and then I passed. Wow. So and then I went certifications after certifications after certifications. That's what I did.
Mm,
Just to go through
mm.
all aspects of OutSystems, and then fortunately, when the we were transitioned to CDR, I got I got my chance to do full time development. Like
Yeah.
I have my yeah I had my first client. My
Mm,
first client. for full time for development was actually full stack. I was
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the architect, I was the BA, I was the developer. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, but I had one partner, a good friend of mine. She was the delivery specialist of that
Mm,
project. So for that project, it was only the two of us.
mm,
So that's where I really I struggled at first because I don't understand some parts of but there's so many resources in the
yeah,
community,
yeah.
and then my colleagues are also helping me. So
Mm,
um, I decided that okay, I think I wanna really go
mm,
full time development on this. So fortunately, I made something work in CDR, and then they made me um, research and development director, and then
yeah,
I Justin James
yeah,
took me under his wing, and I really learned a lot from him
yeah,
on the technical side of OutSystems. So I was really full time doing development,
yeah,
like
yeah.
um, doing accelerators
Mm,
for our developers in CDR at that time, and then as time passes, as I'm learning more and more about OutSystems, the other technologies there, I'm learning more about the background stuff like DPTs, um, um, multi-tenancy. I said,
yeah,
wow, every time I learn a new aspect of OutSystems, like we were doing this before, but it was really, really tough.
yeah,
But
yeah.
OutSystems took care of it. I think what in summary, I think OutSystems they really, really love their developers. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
the maybe that's the business model
yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
OutSystems. They
yeah.
really love their developers. They want to make it more easy for the
Mm,
developers to finish, to build.
yeah,
Just build, just keep building. We will take care of the platform. I think that's
mm,
how OutSystems thinks.
yeah,
So as time passes, I'm learning more and more, and then until such time that I'm gradually transitioning from development to going to architecture side.
yeah,
So
yeah,
because I think for me that's a good direction
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
OutSystems for me OutSystems is all about design.
yeah.
OutSystems will let you focus more on the design, and then you don't have to worry about the platform too much because it's easy to use. Um, they will OutSystems like you design this carefully, like maybe take 75% time of the project to
Yeah.
design this carefully, and then the 25% is the development side,
Mm.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my math is not too good, but
Yeah, yeah,
my I
yeah.
think the ratio is that
Yeah,
way. Like
yeah.
that's how our systems um, promote it. So
Mm.
yeah, until now, I can't stop learning out. There's still a lot I think that
Yeah.
I haven't um, gone through in the aspect of OutSystems. Like I've done the integration side. I think I wanna go deeply more onto mobile, like
Mm.
creating
Mm.
Cordova plugins, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a long story, but
No, that's good. That's good. That's what we want to know. Yeah, and
that's my
just
love story with
yeah,
OutSystems.
that's
Yeah.
great. And just going back to obviously 17, 18, when you obviously had this interview and you had to do the research into OutSystems, what was the kind of presence of other developers in Philippines? Because obviously now there is a lot more, but back then, were you like one of the early hires for DBR, or did they already kind of have a lot of
Yeah,
people already?
I was the second batch, like I was the
Yeah.
16th, I think,
Okay.
16th
Yeah.
employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there were already developers, and
Mm.
I've heard of other competitors
Yeah.
that those companies were already
Mm.
practicing out systems years
Mm.
before us. There were not there were we were only 16 employees back then, and then we were still looking for clients.
Mm,
So fortunately, we landed with these big companies
mm.
here. At that time, the big companies here are still the ones purchasing OutSystems.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but right now, I think almost, I'm not saying almost everybody, but
Mm.
it's very popular now. Like the other companies that I've maybe
Yeah.
I've never heard of before are
Mm.
also like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you check the job ads, they're also
Yeah.
yeah, hiring for
Yeah.
OutSystems developers.
I
So
think that I think
it's
the
getting,
APAC
yeah,
region in general, the APAC region is
yes,
OutSystems is very popular. You know, Singapore,
yes,
Malaysia, Philippines, Australia is definitely
yes,
a market that is growing. And I think
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
with the presence of a lot of developers in Philippines, they're reaching out to all the developers who kind of, started off with consulting companies.
yeah. And the actually the demand for developers for OutSystems in the Philippines is very competitive.
Mm.
Like, you know, the it's like who gives the best offer, the
Yes.
developers
Yeah.
will
Yeah. Yeah.
surely be
Yeah.
there. So it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, I think few years ago would be, if you couldn't find, this problem is globally at the moment. I think, every region where there's a lot of developers,
yeah,
even though there's a lot, everybody's struggling to hire,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
what we're finding is it's not, obviously the package is important, but in some cases it's not always about the package. It's how interesting the project is, or what's the vision of the company. If someone has like kind of clear plan of how they can grow. You know, like
yeah,
you started at one point, you ended up at an architect level. Kind of that sometimes helps people make their decision, and they're willing to kind of put the financial side a bit to the side to think, okay, well, if I'm going to get better growth here, I'll go in this
yeah, yeah,
direction. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's correct. That's why for me, I'm really I'm really out there sharing my experience with OutSystems because, as I said, I'm an old dog in development,
yes, yes,
but I was able to still transition to OutSystems.
mm,
And I think some other guys also had this thought, but um, I'm not really like a social media
yep,
guy, like sharing
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but in the background, I'm actually conducting like OutSystem sessions to universities,
Oh, good.
local universities here.
Yeah,
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 but mostly I'm starting with my provinces in the
yeah, yeah,
northern
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
Philippines, because I think that will solve the
yeah.
the developer shortage.
Yes, yes,
If we
definitely.
start them young, like
Mm,
we start with the students.
mm.
If they start their careers, hopefully they start their careers with OutSystems,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then there you go. We will have
yeah,
more
yeah.
OutSystems developers in the future. Yeah.
And you did say you wanted to go back to teaching, didn't you? So this is a good opportunity to teach
Yes,
something
it's a
very new.
that's yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
best of both
yeah,
worlds.
yeah, yeah. And
I guess.
how's the kind of response from students? Because obviously for them, I'm assuming it's very new. They probably all have to Google it when you mention it.
Yeah. The response is pretty good
Mm.
because most of their projects were mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So most of their projects were mobile. And then um they were using this I think it was Android Studio or something
yeah,
like that.
mm,
It's very demanding on resources.
mm, mm,
And then they still have to learn the language, right? So
yeah,
when I introduced OutSystems to them, some of the students, according to my friend,
yeah.
they started using it on their final
Aha,
project
nice.
yeah, they
Yeah, yeah.
started using it on their final project. And I heard it was pretty successful.
Ah, good.
And yeah, and then word is
To
starting to
spread.
spread.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
I think that's the kind of effect I want
yeah, yeah, yeah,
to, hopefully, even if it's just in the
yeah,
provinces of
yeah,
the
yeah,
Philippines, I
yeah,
hope,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it will have an
And
effect. Yeah, yeah.
it's nice for you as well that if you're hearing these things, at least the work you're putting back into, your kind of province and community is kind of, helping people kind of be exposed to
Yeah, that,
something that, you know, um, it's a technology that I think if people have aspirations to work for international companies or even move abroad, it's definitely a good
yeah,
technology to learn because of the shortage. It's your ticket to go overseas and things like that. I definitely think
yeah,
that. I definitely believe that.
yeah, yeah, that's correct. And for me, um, thinking as a software engineer,
Oh,
um, the 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 main reason I'm sharing is I'm telling the students,
yeah.
there are already a lot of platforms that your school
Oh,
that you learn in school, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, but I think low code is not one of them.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm telling them, I want to introduce low code so that when you go out there, I'm not telling you to like go low code straight
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
straight
yeah,
away, whatever. But I want you to be aware that
yeah.
there is a low code platform out there.
Mm.
So you know that you have an option.
Yeah, yeah,
So
of
it's
course.
really up to them what they
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, just just introduce it to them. If they fall in love with it, good. If not, at least they know there's a low
Yeah,
code. So
exactly.
yeah, yeah. So
Any
later they
knowledge,
might change their mind.
any knowledge is good knowledge, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So, what would be your message to, uh, people out there who hate on low code and don't believe in, low code?
Oh, it's good you asked that for us. Maybe I'll answer that with one conversation I had with
Hmm.
one of my good friends who's also a seasoned software engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was introducing OutSystems to him, low code platform, and
What's he using at the moment?
C Sharp and
C sharp.
React
Okay.
JS. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
so both
Yeah.
he's using both.
Yeah.
Um, those are the guys that you can call. I call them purists.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep.
That's
Yep.
my term. That's my term on
Yeah.
those guys. They are purists.
Yeah.
So he was telling me, "Oh, you're not true to the code, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're already like going to the other side."
Oh.
Then I'm letting him realize that you know what I told him, brother, your thinking is you're um it's not it's not I told him I don't know him like that. Like,
Oh.
are you a software engineer or not?
Yeah.
Because if I told him, okay, realize this. What's the history of .NET? What's the history of React.js?
Yeah.
They started with C sharp is C++.
Yeah.
That's why it's C
Yeah.
sharp because it's what's
Yes.
there's a framework built on top of it.
Yeah.
React.js is a framework built on top of JavaScript.
Yeah.
And now there are a lot of frameworks coming up on React.js. Vue,
Yes.
there's a new one, Meteor, I think.
Oh.
There's a lot of frameworks coming out. And it's the nature of man,
Yeah.
mankind as a whole, to be building accelerators to make their lives easier, right?
Yes.
OutSystems is one of those framework.
Yeah.
It still gets the job done. The only difference is you're not typing a lot of things. I think that's
Yeah.
because he loves his mechanical keyboard too much that he thinks that if it's not
Yeah.
if it's not typing, if he
Yeah.
doesn't
There's a
hear it a
problem.
lot,
It's not doing
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
yeah, if he does not hear it a lot, he's not doing development. But
Yeah.
I'm convincing him that it's OutSystems is the same as the other platforms out there.
Mm.
It's just the manner of how you write the code.
Yeah.
It's different. It's more for me. I told him it's more futuristic. This is the
Mm.
future.
Mm.
I mean, think of it. If you're a seasoned developer, I told him, but if you get to OutSystems, I think you can learn this like in a week or two.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can already
Yeah.
develop code.
Yeah.
So imagine that rather than if I tell you, okay, shift to Python, can you learn it in a week or two?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you go to OutSystems, you can learn a lot of things from it. already, because it's just flowchart. It
Yeah, yeah.
looks like a flowchart, and
Mm.
then it's web technology, so it's not really a stranger to web technology. So OutSystems is just a tool to build software. It's
Yes.
just any other tool. It's just
Yeah,
any
yeah.
other framework. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to hate it because you're not typing too much.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's because it's not the usual way. It's just another. For me, it's just another. It's just another tool. If OutSystems or low code is not applicable to the project, then fine. You can use the
Yeah.
other. You can use the other
Mm.
technologies. For example, the project that I had, um, we had to like create some backend software, software to their Linux platform.
Mm.
Of course, you cannot use
Yeah, yeah,
OutSystems,
yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
right? So I had to write Python code for that.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, yeah.
As long as I deliver the project,
Mm.
that's fine. Doesn't matter for me, OutSystems or low code or
Whoever gets
not.
the job done, isn't it?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah,
So for me, if you're truly a software engineer, OutSystems is just another tool. You
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to
yeah,
hate. You don't
yeah,
have to hate it.
yeah, yeah,
It's another tool. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Your your
that's
your
my
your
take on
your
that.
your achievement is obviously to get the work done. Doesn't matter, whether you write loads of code or not.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
your
That's
end goal is the same.
yeah. It's the same. It's the same output.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the as long as the client is happy with it,
yeah, yeah,
and the client wants more project with you,
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
you're doing the
Exactly.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's low code or not.
yeah,
The only advantage is you're delivering faster
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
in low code. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
so why
yeah.
not?
And
Why not
how? Yeah,
use
exactly. And how did that conversation end then?
um he was already recently he was sending me a message of I think he wants to get the certification first.
Oh, good. Okay. And I think from your side, you've done your job. That's the main thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah,
can
yeah. I think
convince someone, if you can convince someone to at least just do the certification, like, that, you've done your job. That's one extra person you've exposed who, if you didn't give them that explanation, they wouldn't
yeah,
even they wouldn't even consider it. So,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
no, that's really good. That's okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I told him, if you pass the certification, I pay for it. If you
Yeah.
want, I treat you.
Yeah,
I
nice.
treat you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's have a drink, and
Yeah.
then let's celebrate your
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
your
Yeah,
your
yeah.
baptism by
If he,
fire
yeah,
on OutSystems on
and
low code.
if he ever gets a job in OutSystems, then I'll have to interview him
Yeah,
to
okay,
ask
sure.
him about,
I'll
obviously,
I'll I'll
because it'd be good
I'll
to kind of,
introduce you to him. Yep,
it'd be
yeah,
good to
yeah,
talk to him. If he ever
yeah,
decides
yeah.
to pursue a career in OutSystems and that starts, then it'd definitely be good to talk to him.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I hope he goes all the way
Yeah, yeah.
to exploring. He's older than me, but I'm not sure
Okay.
if yeah, but at least he's considering it. I think
Yeah,
that's the most
yeah,
important
yeah,
thing. But he's really a purist.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
really I consider him is the purest. Is the
Yeah.
purest of all the purists I know.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. And in your time of, since using our systems, have you ever kind of looked at any of the other low code platforms to compare or just be nosy and see what they offer?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because as I said, I'm engineer by heart.
Yes.
So actually, for me, um, if for me to convince myself to love a platform more,
Mm,
I wanna go into like I wanna try the more difficult
mm.
part of. I mean, the if it's a high level code, I wanna go. So let me tell you just one this
Yeah, sure.
maybe 5 minutes story.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, we have this final project, right? So I was thinking, what final project will I deliver? So the deliberation of my final, because that project is required for you to graduate.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
deliberation is March, but I started early, like
Oh,
the year prior. I
yeah.
started early, like building what I wanna do. So I think I already built like three kinds of product that I could.
Mm.
I did it in Clipper. I did it in Fox Pro. So it's all high level
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah.
So then it's still few months away from the deadline. So I was thinking, uh, I think I wanna do more. Like
Yeah.
I wanna explore more options. So I ended up doing my final project. Guess which gets you wanna guess which language?
Mm, C#?
Nope.
No.
Lower.
Lower than that. Not sure.
Assembly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I challenged myself. Let's do
Yeah.
it in assembly.
Yeah.
I did it in assembly. It's a simple
Yeah.
application, but I learned a lot from it. Like I I was able to be familiar with the actual hardware architecture
Mm.
of the it's still PC at that time,
Yeah.
the XT
Yeah.
machines. So I did it in assembly, and I actually presented my final project in assembly
Yeah.
with that
Okay.
assembly
Yeah.
application. Yeah. So it was a very I think for me that was the highlight of my
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
college. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after I graduated, I was really a very confident
Yeah.
developer,
Yeah.
because if I could do that, if I could deliver my final project
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
assembly, yeah, I think I could do anything.
Yeah.
So going back to OutSystems, during my spare time on the weekends,
Yeah.
I did learn on React.js,
Yeah.
especially
Mm.
learning the platform, because I know how to. The funny thing is I'm already create building applications in OutSystems, delivering
Yeah.
successfully
Yeah. Yeah.
delivering projects
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
clients, but actually I'm not very good in HTML. I'm not very good in JavaScript.
Okay.
I'm not very good in CSS.
Yeah.
I still need other people to do that
Mm.
for me, but I can still deliver. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's one beauty of OutSystems. So
Mm.
but I don't want to be like very dependent on those
Yeah.
guys.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I wanna learn the okay, how does HTML really work, and the modern HTML, because my
Yeah.
the HTML version I knew before was still the old version.
Mm.
Now it's HTML5 or something like that. So I learned React JS. I bought some courses online, and then I learned. So when I was doing the React JS thing, I said, okay, this is kind of I'm a software engineer, so I'm enjoying it. And
Yeah.
then okay, so how do we deploy this? So okay, copy this to the side. So I was thinking, if we do this if we do this like in an enterprise,
Yeah.
like you want to deliver an enterprise, so imagine you have to have, then I googled, okay, you have to have this, either you buy the license or you have to set up your own like
Yeah.
deployment
Yeah.
platforms, your code repository. Again, it's the same problem with the traditional stuff. So
Yeah.
for me, it's okay to learn still the traditional way. But for me, I think the problem of the traditional is still there. Like
Mm.
you still have to do everything by yourself, or you have to buy another platform to do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of doing that, why not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
why not do it in just one platform and
Yeah.
then let it do it for you, and then just keep building it. So
Mm.
that's how I what's the right term? That's how I rattle myself
Yeah. Yeah.
to that's how I challenge myself more
Yeah.
to appreciate like
Yeah.
OutSystems
Our
more.
systems.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna go to the other more not really difficult, but more manual or more traditional way,
Mm.
but the output will be the same.
Yeah.
So imagine you're doing that amount of work, and then you will deliver it longer, I think, I
Yeah.
presume. and then but the output will be the same as what you're doing with OutSystems.
Yeah.
It's true you have a lot of control with the traditional,
Mm.
but do you really need that?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
OutSystems already did that for you. So
Yeah.
that's my thinking now. So I can still I'm open to the traditional
Yeah.
platform, but
Yeah.
I think it's just a side thing for
Yeah.
me.
You're well
I
invested
wanna
into our systems.
yeah,
Yeah.
OutSystems is still because I'm still convincing myself. Do I really go OutSystems all the way, or I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
go? Yes,
yeah.
then no, I wanna go OutSystems. This is
Yeah.
it. This is it. This is
And
it
you're
until I retire. I think.
until you retire, nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
and
think.
you're a our systems champion now. And I know obviously
Yeah,
these
I
badges are linked to kind of involvement in community and things like that. How did that kind of what was the reasoning for you kind of, becoming a champion?
um I there was actually I applied for it
Yeah, okay.
um because I'm not really like very active in the community
Mm,
forums.
yeah,
What I'm active more on the development side, like
yeah,
I'm creating plugins,
yeah, sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm creating plugins, and on the back end part, I mean, I'm sharing out systems to
Mm.
universities
Yeah, yeah, of
here,
course. Yeah,
so I'm not really public
yeah,
on that,
yeah.
but I'm more on a develop. I'm more of a tech guy rather
Yes.
than a
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
spokesperson. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
So I actually applied because the invite keep popping up.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
out
It
systems.
was calling you. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. I tried to apply,
yeah.
but I was not really expecting to pass because
Mm.
I'm not I'm not really like like
Yeah,
a social media person or something,
yeah.
because my impression of being a champion or MVP is like you should be like
Mm.
active in social media.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah, so I applied, and then I think they checked my background
Mm.
because they brought it up on the interview, like you created these plugins, um, but the lady that was Andrea, she
Yes.
was the in charge of champions. I think what she explained to me is that what 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 I understood from her is, I think my background, my transition to OutSystems from a very traditional background is what made
Mm.
me a champion. And because I'm very enthusiastic
Mm.
with OutSystems, I'm
Yeah,
very loud
yeah,
about
yeah,
OutSystems. So I think that was the edge that I
yeah.
got into the champions
That's good.
circle.
Yeah, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, so that's what happened. It was a lot. It's like it's tougher than a job interview, I think.
Yeah. They obviously
I
want the
was
right
really
they obviously want the right people to
Yes,
kind
that's
of spread
correct.
the word about the platform because obviously you having that badge, people may reach out to you for advice and things like that. So they
Yeah,
probably want to
yeah,
make sure it's the right people who can say, yes, I'm a champion.
yeah. So I think so. Hopefully, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying yes, but
Mm,
hopefully
yeah.
that's really how they think of me. So I'm doing my best being
Mm,
a champion.
yes.
But really, my problem is I'm not really loud on
Yeah.
social
Yeah. Yeah.
media, something
Yeah.
like. So I'm doing it in my own way. So
Mm,
when you invited me here, oh, so this is one chance that
yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Let
Exactly.
somebody, yeah,
Yeah. Hear
like
about
you,
what you've done. Yeah.
yeah, yes. I
Yeah.
just I just and then I help with OutSystems events from time to time. So
That's, yeah.
um baby steps,
Yeah. Of course. No,
going there, yeah,
that's
baby
great. That's
steps,
great.
going there, yeah, yeah.
And just as a kind of final question, you've had this kind of great career up until now. What's your kind of now future aspirations, goals that you're looking to achieve?
Um, for me, I think I wanna be more on the architecture side now.
Mm, mm,
Um, I want to help clients build the software, but I don't want to really be 100% architect. Maybe
Yeah.
I still wanna do
Get your
development. I
hands
think
dirty. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I still wanna do that. I still wanna I think I wanna like if there's a heavy ticket or a heavy task,
Mm,
I still wanna put my hands dirty, as you said.
mm.
But I'm really wanting more on having the architecture side, designing and hopefully, you know, bringing, helping convince other companies still
Yeah, yeah, sure.
that OutSystems is, if you want this product for your internal
Yeah,
business or commercial, OutSystems is I think it's the
yeah.
platform for them. And that's for job. And then for personal, um I hope someday, if the community is listening out there,
Yeah.
I wanna, yeah, if possible, I wanna have the MVP status
Ah,
someday.
good, good. That's
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
yeah,
target. Very good target. Definitely.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think definitely achievable. I think if you once you get that badge, we should definitely talk again on the podcast for sure.
Sure, you can invite me. You can invite me anytime.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. So
Great.
yeah.
No,
So
amazing.
that's
So
yeah.
no, it was really good to kind of hear your journey and how you've like you said you're a kind of old dog, but you've definitely kind of seen a lot. You've seen a lot, and it's good to kind of see how you've ended up without systems and now how you're trying to promote it. Yeah, okay, you're not kind of advertising it, you know, to everyone, but it's good that you obviously believe in it, that you're willing to spread the word to,
Yeah.
students and things like that as well, which is really good to hear. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
And then hopefully we can speak again in the future.
Sure, sure.
Thanks, Michael. It was nice to talk to you.
Anytime. Yep.
Take care.
Thank you. Yep.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast, hosted by iTrack Recruitment, global leader in low code recruitment. Be sure to subscribe and see you next time.